On a quiet Wednesday afternoon in suburban Ohio, a man named Derek Morrison answered a call he didn't expect. Derek was 46, a father of two, and by every definition, extremely average, in a good way. He paid his bills on time, grilled burgers on weekends, and had the same bank account for nearly 20 years. But this phone call wasn't from his bank. The caller ID said, First Continental Security Department. The voice on the other end sounded urgent, polite, and, if you weren't paying close attention, official. Sir, we've detected suspicious activity on your account. Are you available to verify your identity? Most people would have panicked. But Derek wasn't most people. He'd watched enough scam-baiting videos to know the script by heart. This is the story of how one ordinary man accidentally launched a chain reaction that exposed a fake banking operation running across 3 countries, all because he asked a scammer to spell the word fraud backwards. And the scammer couldn't do it. Not because he didn't know how to spell, but because he realized, too late, that Derek had flipped the entire power dynamic of the call. The scammer introduced himself as Agent Mark from First Continental's fraud division. He had that perfect blend of fake empathy and confident authority. Your account has been compromised, sir. I just need to verify a few details. Derek played along. What kind of suspicious activity? Multiple charges on your debit card. International purchases. We need to lock down your account immediately. Derek chuckled. He hadn't left Ohio in 8 years. Still, he said, all right. What do you need from me? The scammer pounced. Please confirm your date of birth. Classic move. Derek gave him a fake one. The scammer typed loudly, like he was hacking the Pentagon. Thank you, sir. Now, I'll need your card number so we can freeze unauthorized access. That was the line. The line they always used. But Derek didn't bite. He inhaled slowly and answered, Before I give you anything, I need you to confirm you're really with the fraud department. Dead silence. Then, of course, sir. But Derek wanted to have some fun. Okay, Mark, if you're really from the fraud division, then spell the word fraud backwards. A pause. A long one. One where you could practically hear the scammer's brain combusting. Sir, I'm not sure what you mean. Just spell it backwards. Fraud backwards. Another pause. Then a click. He hung up. What Derek didn't know yet was that this moment, this tiny act of midlife mischief, would set off a domino effect bigger than either of them realized. Most scam calls end when the scammer realizes you're not a target. But this one didn't. 2 minutes later, Derek's phone buzzed again. Different number. Same scammer. Now he sounded angry. Why did you ask me that question? Because, Derek thought, you're a scammer. But he kept calm. Because real bank representatives handle fraud every day. Spelling it backwards should be easy. The scammer snapped. Sir, this is a very serious matter. If you don't cooperate, your entire account will be frozen for 90 days. A threat. A textbook intimidation tactic. Derek leaned back in his chair. Tell you what, he said. You spell fraud backwards, and I'll cooperate completely. The scammer sputtered. You're wasting my time. You called me. Another click. Another hang up. But the scammer wasn't done. 30 minutes later, Derek got a third call. This one from an unknown number. A different voice answered, older, calmer, clearly higher up. Mr. Morrison, we understand you spoke with one of our agents earlier today. The escalation team. Every scam call center has one, and they're good. Professional. Smooth. Emotionally manipulative. Sir, the new voice said, I assure you we are completely legitimate. Now, if you'll just help us confirm your account, Derek interrupted. Spell fraud backwards. No hesitation this time. DUARF. Not bad. Except for one thing. He spelled it in a heavy accent the original caller didn't have. Not remotely similar. Derek had confirmation. Same operation. Multiple scammers. Same script. But he didn't hang up. He asked another question, casually, so what's your employee ID number? The man claimed it was 7743 FDC. And that was the final mistake. Because that number format didn't match the bank's real employee codes, something Derek found by Googling years ago after his mother fell for a similar scam. He didn't expect what happened next. Derek said simply, Sir, you do know I'm recording this call for the FBI, right? The scammer inhaled sharply. A single, shaky breath. Then, in a softer tone, Sir? Please don't do this. Not the response Derek expected. What do you mean? Please. I have a family. I didn't want to do this job. They force us. Derek froze. This wasn't their usual script. The man continued, I don't want trouble. If you report us, they will punish us. Badly. Whether it was true or a manipulation tactic, Derek didn't know. But the tone wasn't the confident scammer persona anymore. It was something closer to fear. And guilt. He said, "You can walk away. You can quit." "No," the scammer replied. "They take our passports. They keep everything. Many of us cannot leave." This was no longer about spelling a word backwards. This was something bigger. Derek didn't fully believe the man. Not yet. But he asked questions. Lots of them. And the scammer cracked. Within minutes, maybe out of fear, maybe out of relief, he started revealing details of the entire operation. The scam center operated out of a rented office floor in Kolkata, disguised as an IT outsourcing firm. The workers weren't trained agents, they were migrants trapped by debt contracts. Scripts, caller IDs, and fake bank databases were provided by a criminal ring in Dubai. Every day, they made 3,000 plus calls. They needed only 7 successful victims to hit quota. "Sir," the scammer said desperately, "I don't want to steal from anyone anymore. But I can't leave." Derek didn't know what to say. He'd gone from trolling a scammer to hearing a confession from someone terrified of his own employers. He finally spoke. "I can't fix everything. But I can report this to the right people." "Please," the scammer whispered, "just tell me how to get out." But Derek wasn't qualified to handle that. What he could do was gather enough information to send to authorities who actually could intervene. So Derek kept talking. For 2 more hours. Off script. Human to human. By the end, the scammer gave him an email address. A real one. Not part of the operation. And then, quietly, he said, "Thank you. Goodbye." He hung up. Derek emailed everything, timestamps, numbers, names, the confession, to the FTC and the FBI's Internet Crime Division. Most people would think nothing would come of it. Except something did. 3 months later, a small article appeared in an Indian newspaper. Local police raid illegal call center, dozens rescued. The location matched. The details matched. The operation? Shut down. Was it because of Derek? Probably not solely. But he was one of several people who helped authorities map suspicious call patterns tied to that very office building. And the scammer, the one who spelled fraud backwards with an accent, sent Derek a single email from a new address. "I got out. Thank you." No signature. No name. Just that. Sometimes the smallest action, a question, a moment of skepticism, a simple request to spell a word backwards, can unravel an entire illusion. Most scam victims don't lose money because they're stupid. They lose money because scammers are professionally manipulative. But Derek proved something important. Power in a conversation isn't determined by who dials the number. It's determined by who asks the questions. If a caller claims they're from your bank, your credit card company, your ISP, or the Federal Department of Security, don't panic. Pause. Ask a question. Ask for proof. Ask them to spell something backwards. And if they hang up? Congratulations. You just saved yourself.